Kicking things off at number 10, it is Sidorika. But I need to give you a heads up before I start. As of February 2026, RayArc has put Sidorika into permanent maintenance mode. No new content is being made ever, which is quite a shame because this is a pretty good hidden gem. So the final two characters were released as the conclusion, and limited reruns events will only continue until July 2026. After that, the game just sits there as a finished product, which is good and bad at the same time. So this isn't just a recommendation for the next big gacha to grind, or is this like the best hidden gem? No, it's not. It's just a recommendation to play through one of the most underrated stories in the genre while you still can. With that out of the way, Sidorika is a turn-based puzzle RPG that ran from 2018 through 2026, and the combat is built around matching colored runes on a grid to trigger character skills. Each character has skills tied to specific colors, and the way you sequence matches across multiple turns determines your damage, healings, and buffs. Boss fights force you to actually understand your team comp and of course the boss itself. But the real reason Sidorika has a cult following it does is the writing. The story is like episodic across chapters with proper character arcs, philosophical themes, and real darkness. Art is definitely gorgeous, there's no doubt about it. Even when you look at this game, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm gonna play this game. But then again, the gameplay is not everyone's cup of tea. That is why this game is sitting at number 10. And of course, it is a very underrated hidden gem in the gacha genre. But this one is of course still worth playing because this one's a completely different game. Very good storytelling. If you like something like, of course, Reverse 1999, I think you will like this game. So check this one out. At number 9 is Annulus. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is a very hidden gem grid-based tactical RPG. So this one is made by Hong Kong studio Nirvana. You play as a mercenary captain in the war-torn continent of Novi Sad, recruiting warriors, crafting weapons, and pushing through campaigns inspired by greedy medieval warfare with heavy Lovecraftian elements layered on top, which is really cool in my opinion. That is why I'm putting this one in this list. Combat, again, it is a grid-based tactics turn-based RPG. Every chapter introduces new mechanical gimmick. Chapter 2 has tiles that buff or heal units stationed on them. It's like this Gaia in a sense, honestly. And yeah, chapter 3 flips with damaging trap tiles and so on and so on and so on. And there is a day and night cycles that affects class abilities, which is really cool. It's the kind of system that genuinely rewards you for experimentation and punishes lazy play. The art direction is this Western dark fantasy with detailed character designs and very atmospheric environments. Man, this one is like, holy shit, if you take a look at this, I don't know how like Chinese made gacha game is looking very beautiful, and this one is no doubt beautiful. And this is not an anime gacha waifu style-ish, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I think this is really nice because of that alone. Cinematics are made in Unreal Engine and they look very expensive to make, but the caveat is that the game launched with bugs and the late game has a very pay-to-win paywall. But for tactics fans who want something with real gameplay and a willingness to be ugly and grim instead of like cute, vibrant, and this chibi art style, this one is really cool, right? So yeah, play this one. It is quite a hidden gem. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that this game is on Steam, so you have that convenience. In number 8, it is Stella Sora. Now, I know this one is not a real hidden gem because when this game first released, everyone is playing this game like crazy. But as of right now, I think many people have forgotten it, like Aether Gazer. So I think this one is a good hidden gem in my opinion, if you don't know this already. So this is a top-down light action bullet heaven roguelike with gacha elements, of course, and developed by Yostar, the one who made Aether Gazer, and of course who published Arc Knights. So you play as this tyrant, a being awakened from 1,000-year slumber, leading a squad of girls called Trekkers. Basically they are going up like massive towers called monoliths to claim ancient artifacts. I don't know, man. I don't know who came up with this, but I guess it's a good story. The combat is generally pretty excellent in my opinion. It is like a reverse bullet hell where you are the one slinging projectiles, with each tracker having distinct skill kits and elemental affinities. Each monolith run is a fresh roguelike loop with randomized perks with route choices, and successful runs can be saved as records that you can deploy in other game modes. The progression loop is one of the most addictive things in any gacha game right now because, of course, in general guys, a roguelike game is quite addicting. And there's this bond system that lets you raise affinity with characters for stat boosts and lore unlocks. Voice acting is pretty great, art is gorgeous, soundtrack is okay in my opinion. Actually, it's really nice. Now, the bad news is, as Yoastar, they always fucked up the gacha super hard. They doubled the pull cost from 150 to 300 between beta and launch and got review bomb because of that. But I don't know about now though, because I don't really play it anymore. I tried it. I actually enjoy it from a free-to-play player's perspective because I don't really pull that much. And people say that pulls are stingy in this game and late game economy can be brutal. But if you like go in free to play, treat the launch units as your, forever theme and whatnot, and just play it casually, I think you'll enjoy this game just fine. So I think it's a pretty fantastic game underneath all the gacha bullshit. So play this one at your own cost. At number 7, it is Resonant Solstice, a real-time trading and train management RPG with deck building card combat. Yes, all of those things are in one game. You play as a Columba conductor navigating a continent ravaged by an event called the Morphic Moon, hauling cargoes, building trade routes and rebuilding a fractured world. The core gameplay loop is actually exploring the open world via train, picking up jobs from cities, managing what you can carry, and making real-time trading decisions to maximize profit. When you get jumped by enemies, combat shifts into this real-time card-based system where each character contributes their own deck of skill cards and you're playing cards on a timer to chain damage and buffs, which is really cool. But again, this type of gameplay is not for everyone. It is kinda niche, so that is why it is in the hidden gem genre. The chibi art style turns some people off, of course, and the tutorial is genuinely too long, man. Like, oh my god, I almost dropped this game because of the tutorial, but you know what? I pushed through it and actually enjoyed the game. And the moment-to-moment loop of running your train, optimizing routes, picking up side jobs, and surviving combat has no real equivalent in the gacha space. And the voice cast is so stacked in this game with top-tier Japanese voice actors. Like I said, it is niche, it is weird, and it is absolutely not for everyone, but for people who like simulation depth alongside their gacha, it is something genuinely different, and it is a game trying to be their own game, and man, they succeed in that. Number 6 is Cat Fantasy. So this is a 3D turn-based RPG with cafe management sim elements set in Kato City. Yeah, a metropolis populated entirely by cats. You play as an inspector with 136 in-game days to stop the city's destruction, switching between, solving supernatural problems and running a cafe called the Cat of Baker Street. Now, combat is turn-based, simple with 5 elements and 6 unit rolls, but the standout mechanic is the card fusion, where you can merge 2 ability cards into stronger combined skills mid-fight, like in Reverse 1999. It adds way more decision making per turn than your average or waifu gacha, and gives team comp real weight because certain unit pairings unlock fusion combos that completely change out your damage output. Outside combat, you've got fishing, cooking, food delivery, cafe decorations, and PvP arena, and that's pretty much it, honestly. The variety is quite nice for a gacha game this indie, I would say. And not to mention that this game's soundtrack, man, I think I've never seen, I've never heard an indie gacha game that's a hidden gem that has very good music. Of course, Reverse 1999 is an exception, but like this niche kind of like, I don't know how you say it, a super small gacha game that has a super good audio. Now, the art direction is clean, you know, it has this cel-shaded 3D and the cutscenes look properly produced rather than the usual half-effort gacha animations. It is stupidly generous with free pulls at launch, with up to like thousands free summons for getting through the early stories, which is really cool by them, and late game grind on SR characters is quite real. But the early to mid game experience is one of the most generous ones I've seen in a while, so I think it is worth giving it a go and see if this game is worth playing or not for you guys. Memento Mori. Yes, an idle AFK gacha RPG where you build a team of witches and let them auto battle for you. The combat itself is hands off, pretty much really idle. You set your team, set their gear, and the fights resolve automatically, so you cannot do it manually. So auto battle, it's an idle. Why am I recommending it? Well, it's because everything wrapped around that simple loop is incredible. The art is hand-drawn watercolor gothic and it looks like nothing else on the game, in the gacha space right now. Every witch has their own original character song, fully produced with vocals that plays during their backstory chapters. The lore is dark fantasy about witches being hunted and burned across a brutal medieval setting, and each character's personal arc is really good. Mechanically, the gameplay loop is like your daily resource collection, gear optimization, formation tweaking, and PvP. That's pretty much it. There's also this lemon boss fights where formation positioning generally matters for damage output. I mean, it's a perfect background gacha. You can run it in 5 minutes a day, dive into the story when you actually feel like it, and not feel guilty about not grinding. If you want a low pressure daily gacha game, I think this is for you, man. And not to mention that the music, the art, everything else in this game is incredible. So yeah, let's play Memento Mori. Rolling into number 4, it is Outer Plane, a Korean turn-based gacha published by Smilegate. I think people that have played Epic 7 knows this one, man, or Chaos Zero Nightmare. So the plot kicks off with you, an Earthling, getting summoned into a fantasy world by a princess who immediately betrays you and tries to kill you. Oh my god, yeah, your usual isekai bullshit. So you team up with this Eve girl, a vaguely sus mystery girl, and go on revenge tour against everyone who has wronged you. The tone is more self-aware than your average isekai gacha. Combat is your classic turn-based with element matchups, skill change, and burst skill timings. Basically Smilegate's bread and butter from Epic 7. Maybe refined and tightened, if you wanna say it like that. And if you say that Epic 7 is too grindy or whatever it is, maybe Outer Plane kind of fixes it in a way because they have more generous raids and better daily loop. Well, Epic 7 is not a bad game, and this one is also not a bad game, so both of them are actually pretty good. I mean, this one is from Smilegate, I think, and if I remember correctly, I think they sell Outer Plane for another company, so I don't know about that much, but as far as I know, this game is from Smilegate, who makes Epic 7, so the backbone gameplay is solid, but somehow the game just never broke into the Western gacha community. So if turn-based gacha is pretty cool for you guys, I think this one is definitely worth a shot on playing, because in my opinion, I think this game is pretty fun. I played it for a couple of months and I like it. So that is why this one is on the list. And in number 3, one of my favorite hidden gems is Heaven Burns Red, or HBR if you've been around the block. This one is, of course, this is the one that I keep telling people about and they're just like, what the fuck is that? Which is a criminal, because it is one of the most genuinely best gacha games ever made if you have the patience for what it actually is. And what it actually is a visual novel first, gacha turn-based RPG second, like Reverse 1999, you know? Limbus Company? Nah, I don't think Limbus Company, but R99. You're a squad of high school girls fighting alien monsters called Cancer, yeah, at a militarized academy at the literal end of the world. Sounds kinda standard, but it's not. The story is written by Jun Maeda, the absolute legend behind Clannad, Air, Angel Beats, and Little Busters. The man who has personally made millions of people cry, he came back after 13 years for this game, and the writing is exactly as you would expect. Criminally good. Combat is your basic turn-based JRPG with team buffs and skill change, and it is solid, but the real reason you play this game is the story. It will make you laugh and emotional, and then yeah, you'll spend pulls trying to keep your favorite girl on the team because you are now invested as fuck in this game. So yeah, you'll start localize it for global, almost nobody talk about it. I mean, yeah, there are laws. Come on man, just play this game, I know you will like it, I do. So, oh, I forgot to mention that this game is also on Steam, and obviously the voice cast, the voice acting, it is so freaking good. The soundtrack is so freaking good. Yeah, play this one out or try it out if you haven't already. Heaven Burns Red, worth playing. At number 2, one of my favorite again, it is Grain Chase Dimensional Chaser, or just Grain Chase if you are on mobile. So this one is a real-time, man, a real-time action, top-down action RPG, whatever you want to call it. And oh my god, the thing what makes this game stand out is that the animation, man. The animation, even though it is quite niche, the old cutscenes are flashy, the impact, the hit, it feels so, it's so impactful. Like the impact is impactful. Like what else you want me to say, right? It has real weight. And even basic attacks have personality. It feels like a game where the dev team actually cared about the game, and of course moment-to-moment combat experience instead of just rushing auto battle content. But obviously this game is heavy on the auto battle, but then again, if you are very competitive for the PvP, man, you need to play this manually. Now I know this one is not as popular. This one, well, actually this game was popular back in the day, but as of right now there are many gacha games going on around that basically is the same. This one is an exception, right? So this one is a real hidden gem. It's not trying to be, you know, Honkai Star Rail. It's not trying to be the next Wuthering Waves. It's not trying to be this open world massive gacha game, right? No, it's not. And I like it. Really, I really do. You've got dungeon modes, raid bosses, world bosses, PvP, guild content. The whole buffet of content in this game is absolutely phenomenal. The only downside in this game that I don't like is the daily grind. I just don't like it, that's all. But PvP, man, I like PvP in this game. Raid bosses, world bosses, I like it. And the free-to-play generosity is quite nice because the game has been kicking so long that they have to keep returning players happy, and they basically just give us rewards. But after that, the end game can be quite grindy or maybe a bit pay to win-ish, because there is going to be paywalls and whatnot. I mean, it is a gacha game, so it is what it is. The character roster leans more like this old school anime than modern hot waifu, which is, you know, not very appealing for the current generation, I guess. But I don't know, man, I just like it. It has character, it has aesthetic, it has style, it has basically art style. And the writing has actual heart, and the combat is very, very good. So if you want a, you know, a polished action real-time RPG, the top-down one, like Diablo or even like Stella Sora, man, this one, it delivers. I kid you not, this one is worth playing. And especially, guys, I've said this many times, if you like King's Raid, play this game, it will feel very similar. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Grain Chase, worth playing. And the last but not the least, my number 1 hidden gem on this list, obviously you know it from the title, Another Eden. A single player turn-based JRPG with, you know, gacha system bolt onto it. But come on man, it is easily one of the most underrated gachas in the entire space. You play as Aldo, a young swordsman, as he travels across past, present and future trying to save his kidnapped sister. You know, classic JRPG plot. The combat is this classic Chrono Trigger style turn-based with positioning, area of effect skill placement, and a Valor chance system that lets characters power up over multiple turns for massive payoffs. Each character has their own classes and subclasses, and the depth, man, comes from team building and skill timing rather than just dumping ults. Boss fights are quite nice and pretty challenging at times. You will absolutely lose to early game bosses if you are just spamming your attacks without thinking anything. There's no PvP, no stamina system, no FOMO events, no daily login pressure. You just play through hundreds of hours of story content at your own pace and pull your characters that you want. And of course, this game is still getting updates, and it has been running for 9 years. I think just now it has the 9th year anniversary event, so I think that is pretty awesome. And of course, the soundtrack in this game, absolutely gorgeous, composed by Yasunori Mitsuda, the legend behind Chrono Trigger himself and Xenogears. The man is always in his prime, honestly, easily one of the most premium feeling gacha will ever find, but I don't know why this game is still not popular. I think maybe because it's the art style, right? The art style is very nostalgic. It is like in the PS1 era. For me myself, that was born in 1996, I love it all the way. I think earlier generations is not going to be very intrigued with the art style, right? But then again, this one is a very good turn-based JRPG with gacha. That's pretty much it. So play this one, it is really good. Still have regular updates, the community is very big. Everyone that has played this game love it to that. Same like people that have played Limbus Company or Reverse 1999. So why not? It is definitely worth playing.